does not come in peace.
The parasite will be punished.
Time to jam!
Okay, now you're gonna get it.
It's rare to find a PlayStation Vita game with such high production quality. I'm just at a loss for words at how much care and attention to detail went into recreating all the popular first and third party characters. No one here looks like a cheap imitation. The entire cast is wonderfully animated and easily recognizable. They all have their iconic looking moves taken straight from their respective games, as well as colorful screen-filling super attacks. Now those are really well done. Even more impressive are the stages in which you fight in. They're just amazing to look at. Plenty of detail and activity. A true love letter to all the longtime PlayStation fans out there. Each stage usually starts out looking like one and ends looking completely different, seamlessly transitioning from one to the other. It's quite impressive and imaginative, so if you're not particularly fond of a stage, just wait a minute. Most likely, it will change into something else. The one that sticks out most to me is the stowaway stage from the Uncharted games. I love the look of the flames on the side of the plane as the cargo is flying out the back. It's awesome. But it's also the little things that help bring it together. Captain Cork being thrown aside by a sea monster from God of War just made me want to smile. Each fight starts off with a stage and a character intro that makes you nostalgic for the game it's representing. It's sort of a tease really. I can only imagine what a Ratchet & Clank or even a Jak and Daxter game would look like had it been made specifically for the PS Vita. And no, those HD remasters don't count. And did I mention? The game runs buttery smooth. There are just a few minor blemishes I have to address. Loading times between matches are a tad long. Character profiles appear a little blurry. And with so much chaos and destruction on screen, it can get a little difficult to locate your character on that 5-inch screen. Bear in mind, these are minor imperfections. The game as a whole is very beautiful. Moving your character can be handled with either the left thumbstick or the D-pad. My advice, stick with the D-pad. The left thumbstick is too small and imprecise on the PlayStation Vita. Each of the 4 face buttons represent an attack and can be altered based on what direction of the D-pad it's used with. It's not quite the easiest pick up and play kind of controls, but a few rounds in the tutorial should clear things up. Touch controls are kept to a bare minimum, requiring you to only use it when picking up various weapons or items. My biggest gripe with controls is not that it doesn't work, but rather it feels a little too much. For a game with so much going on, objects and enemies coming from every direction, I feel a more simplified control scheme would have helped tremendously. Just to clarify, the controls are not bad. They just have a very steep learning curve, which to its detriment will turn away a lot of casual gamers. If you're a veteran of the fighting scene and play nothing but one game every 5 years, then go ahead and bump the score up to either a 4 or a 5. No expenses were spared in the sound department. The audio includes a wide variety of different sounding music and effects from various different games. From the intense and explosive battles taking place on Helghan, to the cutesy tunes of Loco Roco, there's something here for everyone. Original voice actors return to reprise their respective roles. Everything here sounds authentic. But I guess it wouldn't be complete unless I found something I could nitpick about. After downloading the patch, I did notice how the music would occasionally cut out at times while browsing the menu. I'm not sure if it's a widespread problem, but I thought it should be mentioned. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale is easy to get a hold of when you're fighting a single opponent on a flat surface, but add in multiple players, elevated platforms, and a dodgy control system, the scale can fluctuate from fun to frustrating very quickly. It's not that the ideas were bad, it's just too complicated of a fighting system for a game with so much going on. My biggest gripe with the game is the whole scoring system. You accumulate AP by attacking the other opponents, and when you have enough, you unleash what is called a super attack. Depending on how much AP you have, you can perform a level 1, 2, or 3 super attack. The higher the level, the more deadly the attack. Whoever lands the most super attacks at the end basically wins. If the super attack misses, then well, all the work you put in gathering that AP was for nothing, and so you have to start collecting AP all over again. It's a huge risk and reward kind of system, which I would feel okay with if only you could also accumulate AP by taking damage as well. The game relies heavily on trying to keep an extended combo going, which I feel not all characters are equipped to handle. The game also comes with an assortment of single-player content. Outside of the somewhat enjoyable arcade mode, most of them isn't really all that interesting. Just a bunch of tutorials and combo trials to get you ready for what's really important: online multiplayer. And you'll be happy to know there are still people playing this game. My experience online have been interesting.
Oh, yo, it's 3 Sweet Tooth and a Raiden.
The game has been out for about 6 years now, so the few that are left playing are very good. Get used to seeing this a lot.
Not ready to die.
That's not to say you won't occasionally run into some casuals. Those guys usually play on the weekends. A matchmaking feature that would pair you with players of similar skill level would have helped tremendously here. Although you can invite your friends to play. That is, if any of your friends still play this game. Matches online were easy to find, assuming that you were playing after 6 p.m. I guess that's when everyone is getting off work. Everything ran pretty smoothly, although I did find a couple matches where I lost connection midway through the fight. The game features cross-play, so it's possible that you could be fighting against someone on a PlayStation 3 console. Character customization is also available, so you can add that individual flair when you go online. And if you like spending real money, there's 4 additional DLC characters, along with costumes and stages to buy on the PSN store as well. I wasn't a big fan at first, but the more I play, the more I'm starting to like this game. I've been at this for a couple weeks now, and the game is finally starting to click for me. I'm still nowhere near as good as some of the other people online, but I think I can hold my own now. Whereas the first couple of days, all I was seeing was this. I think the biggest problem I had with the game, other than the scoring system, is the fact that it's a multiplayer based. As a one-on-one fighting game, I feel it would have done so much better. I would even have preferred a tag team mechanic used in the Marvel crossover games as well. I've noticed in the online matches I've played, especially in free-for-all, that most of the time, fights usually just ended up with 2 pairs going at it on opposite sides of the arena. Even when the match is down to 3, in a 2v2 battle, the fight is still basically one-on-one, with the third waiting on the sidelines. Maybe out of respect, maybe out of pity, who knows. Maybe out of the realization that other than a one-on-one fight, the game would be completely unfair and broken. Weapons and stage interactions can be turned off to even the playing field, but then what's the point of having them in the first place? The fighting mechanic is deep, precise, and very technical. It's not the most accessible fighter I've played, but it does a good job of representing the first and third-party franchises. Going through arcade mode with each character and seeing their third-level super attacks is reason enough for Sony fans to jump on board. Just make sure you do your homework before going online, or else you'll see nothing but this. Some of the more casual or even non-fighting fans might want to think twice about this purchase. At the very least, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale is worth a cautious recommendation.
I mean, it's square. That's what you hit.
I almost hit him! I almost hit him blind! Oh god! Oh no! Oh no! Look where I am!